Firing a client is no longer the ultimate power move. When you start freelancing, you might think it is. But I've done this for over 4 years and I can tell you for free, that difficult client is trying to teach you a valuable business lesson. You just have to be willing to learn. In today's video, I will be sharing with you 5 types of difficult clients, how to actually deal with them, when to fire them, when not to fire them, and even if you fire them, how to do it in a professional way that you do not burn bridges, because we do not burn bridges over here. So first of all, let's do a little bit of reality check. There's no such a thing as the perfect client. Clients are just human beings like you and I, and they are deeply flawed. So consider this like some kind of MBA in emotional intelligence, because trust me, if you're a freelancer, you would experience different kinds of challenging situations and challenging clients, but you just have to deal with them. I remember when I used to cut off clients, obviously I was much younger then, and a client didn't pay me on time, gone. Client spoke to me in a manner I didn't appreciate, gone. Like, and if you're a freelancer, you realize that you're just losing clients. You're losing out on good deals because clients are just behaving like normal human beings and they're exhibiting normal human behavior, which is deeply flawed. So before we talk about firing clients, let's actually talk about understanding them. So the first type of client is the ghost. I call them the ghost because they are literally nowhere. You message them, you follow them up, you send reminders, like you can't get a grasp of them. But you see, the 11th hour, that is their hour. They'll come at the 11th hour and say, oh, we need to do this ASAP. ASAP is their favorite word. We need to complete this project ASAP. Hurry! They are always in a hurry and it's always last minute. And that puts so much pressure. I remember once, in fact, I've had a client like this. If you had a client like this, please let me know in the comments, because they just have an amazing way of mounting a lot of pressure on the freelancer. Weeks will go by, you may not hear from them, but the minute they return, they are coming back with enough pressure for the both of you. Now, for clients like this, here is how you can handle them. First of all, communication. Like, set clear expectations upfront, not when the project has started, upfront. You tell them, oh, this is how it would go. We are supposed to send you feedback on Friday by 3 p.m. Beyond 3 p.m., whatever updates I have to do will be pushed back by 3 days, will be pushed back by, just set it all clear. Let them know that their actions would have consequences, not in a confrontational manner or in an aggressive manner, no, in a kind, polite, respectful manner, but still firm, letting them know that if you intend to come back three weeks after the project to start with some kind of haste and speed to make things, no, it won't work like that. It cannot even work like that. I run a business. So putting that in place, communicating directly and clearly that if this happens, these are the consequences, it kind of checks them, so that when that actually happens, they realize that their actions have consequences that are not favorable, and they'll most likely not do it again. You also have to be willing to bill them for like urgent work fee. Like, obviously, if you're coming to me with a last minute request, it might attract additional charges and you should be upfront to them. Like, communicate that openly upfront so that you know that whatever extra work or whatever kind of speed they are looking for will come at a price that they should be willing to pay. So like, putting this in place will like guard you from unnecessary urgent requests. And that's how you just deal with them. You communicate with them upfront, tell them if typically a project would take 5 days for review or something, just add that buffer, because you know this person would come in last minute. You just know. So you can do yourself one by adding some kind of buffer, factoring that into your total cost or into your total fee, so that you do not feel like you are cheated in some kind of way. You don't feel under pressure. You even charge them for the unnecessary pressure they are creating in your business. So everything feels fair at the end of it. Now, when it actually makes sense to fire them, if their delay is actually causing you like issues with other clients, so because of their delay, it affects other clients' work, then you might consider firing them respectfully. And in situations where they blame you for their delays or their unresponsiveness, that's giving toxic behavior, and we don't do toxic over here. So I mean, there will be some clients that are that way, but they're just genuinely, they're normal clients, right? They just have a few flaws here and there with time, but once you put your boundaries in place, they actually respect them. But if it's someone that behaves in that manner and still doesn't respect the boundaries, trust me, like, there's no point in dealing with that, because it will just affect your productivity in general. The second category of clients are the ones that always make late payments. I believe every freelancer at some point has experienced life with these clients. They are always making late payments. There is always an excuse. Oh, I'm sorry. Can I do it next week? Can we move it 2 weeks? Why are we moving it? It can get really frustrating as a freelancer or a business owner, because cash flow is really important. Like, the money has to be moving, it has to be flowing. So when it's stuck at a particular point, it doesn't make sense. And with clients like this, they always have requests, but they're always late on payments. And that's just where the disconnect is. If you've experienced such a client, please let me know how you're able to deal with the issue, because I find it that most freelancers get really frustrated about situations like this, and they are kind of clueless. I mean, I'll offer suggestions in these videos, but most time they're often clueless as to how to actually manage this client. Sometimes they're like, you know what, I'm out. I'm already stressed. I can't even deal with this. And then they just leave them. But let me know if you've dealt with a client like this, and how you're able to like navigate their flaws. Personally, I haven't dealt with such a client before. I have a couple of friends who have, and I can see how really frustrating it can be. So typically, I do not understand why work will be done and payments will not be made. But here are some suggestions you can actually consider in scenarios like this. So first of all, get some kind of down payment. They have to pay you something, 50%, whatever percentage that is for you and your business. You have to determine it, and they have to pay it upfront, so that your investment, your time and energy is not wasted. Because in a situation where the person doesn't like make full payment, would you rather work out with 50% or 0%? Yeah, you have to work out with something. And in situations where the person just keeps postponing and extending the payment dates, you might have to communicate, oh, at this point I can't move forward, or at this point I will have to pause all work pending when previous payment is made. Tell them. No one should be. I don't even deal with clients like that. I mean, it's different when it's a client, like a long-standing client that you built a relationship with and you trust, hasn't paid you, and you're like, okay, you know what, maybe this client is going through a rough patch, and it's okay to be understanding and gracious. But in scenarios where it's just a new client, the first time you're working together, you're already extending it. Oh, I'll pay next week. Nah, it's giving shady. Most of the time it doesn't end well. When to fire this type of client. So if they've been constantly owing you for over 30 days, I feel like 30 days is a lot. But let's just keep at 30 days. Then you may want to like just end things, really, because that's just a waste of your time if you look at it in the grand scheme of things. Also, if you've been reaching out to this client, no form of acknowledgement, they just keep airing your messages, they just keep pushing the date further and further, like they're stringing you along. Because it's really exhausting to be pursuing someone for money you worked for. So even if you want to do that, at this point, you shouldn't be doing any work whatsoever for them. You should like pause all contracts, literally, until they make payments. Then we can continue. And some of them can be really funny, because they might come in and say, I'll make payments. Let's just finish. Let's just do this little thing. Like, they always have one little project that needs to be completed quickly. No. Pause all things until you have been paid. Then we can all continue and be a big happy family. Okay, so I'm just popping in to say that I had to cut this video because it was too long. But anyway, I'll be discussing the next 3 difficult clients in the part 2. You need to listen out for the last 2, because those ones are like something else. But part 2 should be out by next week. If it's already out, I'll drop the link in the description so you can go watch it. See you in part 2. Bye.